Hi everyone, this is Nick Barber and we're coming to you from the Edison Exploratorium in downtown Schenectady, New York on Broadway. And today we have a special guest with us, Peter Frischman. Peter is an electrical engineer. He likes to be called Pete, and we want to welcome him here today, and thanks for being with us, Pete.
My pleasure.
Very nice to meet you. Well, you're a pretty interesting guy, as we found talking before this interview. You've had some wonderful experiences. You're a retired electrical engineer. Is that correct?
That's true.
And you spent most of your years with GE R&D Center.
Correct.
And what division were you in, Pete?
I was in the metallurgy lab.
How many years did you spend there, Pete, at GE R&D?
Oh, probably at the R&D Center 25.
At least 25
Yeah.
years. And what type of work did you do in metallurgy? I'm not an engineer, so maybe you could explain to us what type of
Well, it's
projects you worked on.
I was the only electrical engineer in metallurgy, and the reason I got there was they were developing new materials that are used in all electrical kinds of work and others. And in order to quantify the materials, take some measurements. And that's where I came in. I was doing electrical measurements for the metallurgists.
And what were these materials used for in the end product when they were done?
Everything from jet engines to superconductors, but mainly magnetic materials. That was the center part, because at that time we were very much interested in transformers, losses in transformers. How do we get better material to reduce those losses?
I see. It's almost like this superconductivity they have today, that latest technology.
It was just barely scratching the surface at that time.
I see. You're married. Your wife, her name is
Ruth.
Ruth, and you have 3 children.
Yes.
And you live here locally in Schenectady? No, well, actually, it's probably over the border, right? Galway, New York, you said?
It's in Saratoga County.
It's over the border in Saratoga County.
Right.
But you're close to Schenectady, and I'm sure you have many friends
Yes.
in Schenectady. Well, we're happy that you're with us here today at the Edison Exploratorium amongst many other noted scientists in the region. You said that you worked on some company components, right, Pete?
Yes.
And that was like a TDY or a tour of duty somewhere else. You said Phoenix area. Where'd you go?
Essentially, I was in Phoenix working in computer development, and then I transferred to Schenectady working on military electronics when they had a facility here doing that. That was in 1960.
1960. So I mean,
At that
computers
time-
there. Only the government was thinking of computers at that time.
No,
They
at that time GE was thinking that they were going to out IBM.
Oh, really? Yeah.
They had a huge investment in computer manufacture in Phoenix.
They did.
Yes.
Okay.
Eventually it was sold out to Machines Bull.
Uh-huh.
But the components that we were interested in from the material standpoint was, one of them was certainly magnetic materials used in memories. And that's what we were developing,
Yes.
core memories and disk memories.
So early as 1960, big companies like GE were researching and thinking ahead and producing computer environments.
Absolutely.
Because, well, I remember myself, my first computer was like in the 80s. I mean, for common use, for consumer use, most individuals didn't have computers until the early 80s.
It took
Yes.
took the development of the chip, the Intel kind of work,
Yeah.
where the parts density, the component density, could be put way up high, and you could take this big machine that was before maybe 10 foot by 4 foot by 3 feet,
Yeah.
and put it in a little suitcase that you could carry around.
That's just so amazing, the technology, and which is still rapidly increasing technology. Every day it just keeps multiplying. I remember the old IBM 360s, and they were just like you said. The thing would probably be 5 feet, 6 feet high, big, huge tape drives.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it looked like a big power generator or something. And today we can get that into a little computer chip.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely amazing.
Yep.
It must be amazing to you to see the development over the years, even after you retired. I imagine you're a computer user yourself.
If you look at what they're doing today, it's just another step. They're down now in nanotechnology,
Yes.
where they're condensing it further, and they have all kinds of ideas on how they can still reduce it further in size.
Incidentally, I'll give a little plug to, we're in Schenectady. Schenectady County Community College has a nanotechnology program,
Yes.
which is a wonderful program because that's one of the careers and waves of the future. It's just amazing to me how technology is run. Sometimes we'll probably see a Dick Tracy two-way wrist radio or a little computer on your wrist or voice speak.
You won't need it on your wrist. You don't care. Put it in your pocket. You'll talk to it from
Stick
there.
it in your pocket. Well, I won't mention the manufacturer's name, but they have what they call an iPhone today, which is to me an amazing thing. Our good friend Ernie Tatral bought one, and he showed it to me, and he was pretty happy with it. It's just another example of expanding technology. You must have had some interesting times during your career at R&D. I mean, R&D started probably in the early 60s, I guess. And what was it like working there?
That was before the 60s that they started.
Was it?
Oh,
Uh-huh.
yes. Yeah.
That was in Niskayuna.
Yeah.
And what was it like working there? I mean,
The greatest place in the world to work.
you were happy there?
If you had an idea and it was just reasonable, they would allow you to go to work on it.
So you had great support from the company,
100% across the board.
and that's why they were so successful. One of the reasons, I would imagine.
That was certainly one of the reasons.
They
yes.
say the number one reason that people leave their jobs is because of the people they work with or frustration. It's not the money. So if you keep your employees happy and you're, supportive, you have happy employees, you have more productive and motivated employees. So that was the environment at the time?
I can't say across the board because I don't know about the business aspects of it.
Well, you can't
But
speak for others, but
as far as the technology is concerned,
yeah.
anyone interested in technology, if they're getting support and they can talk to people about it, then they're going to work twice as hard.
Yes. Yep, it increases motivation.
Yes, it does.
Where'd you go to school? You're an electrical engineer. Where'd you go to school?
University of Virginia.
University of Virginia? And where'd you come from originally, Pete?
In New York,
New York City or New York upstate?
just outside of New York City.
Outside of the city? That's great. What made you decide to go to school for engineering? Electrical engineering?
I guess it was in the service. I worked on, excuse me, on maintenance of aircraft electronics in the Navy.
What type of equipment and rooms did you have? Could
was
you
a
describe it as it was in the 60s?
It was fantastic, and actually I got there in the 50s, so the buildings were all new at that time, and the equipment in them, of course, was new and up to date.
Mm-hmm.
And the facilities were such that if you needed a piece of equipment, you didn't really have to go out and buy it and have that charged to you. There was places in the building where you could borrow electronic equipment, test equipment, and that was a tremendous facility. It's probably not as useful today because of the centralization of computers, but as far as making special measurements and things like that, you could just borrow equipment and you could keep it for as long as you needed it.
Yeah, well, that's terrific.
Yeah, another thing is that working there was such a wide variety of backgrounds of people that if you needed some information associated peripherally with what you were working on, there were people you could talk to, and find out what's in that peripheral gap.
Yeah.
And sometimes it would work that the two of you would work together on it, or the other person would just fill in some information you needed. You didn't have to go far. You didn't have to go chasing it on the internet. You went and talked
Right.
to a live person. And
So there was great interaction and support and networking amongst your coworkers.
There
Everyone
was a lot of that,
supportive. And
yes.
so, creativity feeds off of creativity. And imagine in engineering it would be the same as, acting or performing or art.
Sure.
When you're with creative people, the more creative people you interact with, the more motivated, the more creative you become, the more you accomplish. So is that sort of the way it was where you were?
There are, I think, probably a lot more patents issued
Oh,
based on 2, 3, 4, 5 people working
Yes.
in the same area. And that is just the manifestation of an association that is allowed and encouraged.
Well, I was going to ask you about patents. We know that many scientists from GE proper and R&D worked on and developed, many patents. Of course, they were company sponsored, but I understand that when retirees went out, a lot of them would get a bound book or whatever with the number of patents that they had. How many projects did you work on?
Oh, it's someplace in the 30s, I think. I have my
Really?
name on.
In the 30s?
Yeah.
When you retired, did they give you a bound book of patents, or do you remember anything like that, or some kind of recognition?
There was some monetary, small monetary.
Incentives?
Yeah.
Yep. Rewards?
Yeah. I don't think that you really need those kind of incentives if the right environment is there. If the environment is there, you will be pushed to do that just on your own motivation.
You'd be excited.
You
Your
don't-
curiosity would excite you, and you'd be challenged to.
And you're just so happy that
Yeah.
if you do something and you can document it to the point where a patent is applied for, and you are the first one with that
Yeah.
idea that's presented.
That's
That's
gotta be-
payment enough.
That's got to be the best.
Yeah.
To be the first one in the world to come up with some significant idea that's registered in the U.S. Patent Office. That's fantastic. And your interest in engineering, you said, started when you were in the Navy.
Well,
what did you do in the Navy?
The background for the schools that I went to learn how to do the maintenance was very thorough. It was I went to Texas A&M for 3 months, and then to Corpus Christi for 9 months.
Oh, I
There
see.
was a special school there.
Yes.
And these were essentially engineering schools that had everything stripped from them except the center line where they wanted you to, what knowledge they wanted you to learn. And that was engineering to a very sharp point. It was going to school after I got out of the Navy that it was broadened out to include all the chemistry that's involved and
Yes.
everything else associated with it.
Well, that's wonderful. In your earlier days, were you a whiz at math and science as a kid?
That was easy for me.
It was easy for you, came
Yeah.
to you? That's wonderful. That's just terrific. Do you have a shop at home?
Sure.
What do you do at home? Now that you're retired, you've been retired, what kind of tinkering do you do at home with a creative mind? You can't just stop, when you're retired and you have such talent and creativity. So
There's always things
what type
popping
of
up.
projects do you work on in your shop at home?
There's always something popping up.
Like
that
what?
keeps-
What do you do to amuse yourself? I mean, I'm sure you're not building jet engines in your basement, but what type of stuff keeps you busy and keeps your mind active? What do you like to do?
I like to talk to guys who are still working.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we'll communicate back and forth. And once in a while I say, hey, could you come in and we'll talk about this? And we do that.
So you keep your circle of friends.
And after I retired, I did a lot of consulting, in quotes,
Yes.
but it was really just engineering work.
Yeah.
I
You
was
go-
still the only electrical in the metallurgy department. And,
Well, that's great.
and
You
they-
were unique.
well, yeah, they utilized me, I think,
Yes.
because of that.
You still go out to lunch with some of the guys, some of your friends? You
Oh,
meet
yes.
every once in a while?
Yeah.
Do you have any reunions or associations that you belong to as an electrical engineer? Do you
Not
go
as
to
a-
any conferences or things like that?
Remember, I'm an electrical engineer with materials people, so my
Well, that's
main
true.
field is materials now. And not,
Yeah.
There's certainly some of that.
Yeah. Well, we're happy to see you here at the Edison Exploratorium as a visitor and a friend.
Well,
And I hope that you come often.
good to see a lot of old friends in here and that I've known.
We've been visiting with Peter Frischman, electrical engineer, retired from GE R&D. And I want to thank you, Pete, for being with us at the Edison Exploratorium in Schenectady, New York, and sharing this time with us.
Been my
Thank you
pleasure.
very much. Nice to meet you, Pete.